International humanitarian law amid insecurity. PDP chairman Turaki faces arrest over failure to appear in court today. Sanwo-Olu commissions eco-friendly realtors at Lagos Free Zone. Good evening and welcome to News Express on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. A blend of national, local, political, international sports and entertainment news. I'm Ayo Adekaye and other news in detail. We begin from Abuja, where Vice President Kashim Shettima has reaffirmed Nigeria's determination to promote and protect human rights while intensifying efforts to tackle insecurity across the country. Speaking in Abuja at the opening of the 2026 High-Level International Humanitarian Law Dialogue, Shettima noted that President Bola Tinubu remains fully committed to constitutional guarantees of human rights and the universal application of international human rights law in all conflict situations within the country.
Nigeria has adopted a proactive approach to the implementation of international humanitarian law through sustained military training, strengthened child protection protocols, the integration of IHL into academic curricula, accountability mechanisms for sexual violence, improved arms control systems, and comprehensive displacement frameworks.
The Vice President, who described insecurity as the greatest threat to peace and development, said the country has adopted comprehensive strategy that combines both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches.
These efforts reflect a simple but powerful truth. Humanitarian law must be lived, not merely legislated. At the heart of this national agenda lies our recognition that meaningful progress depends on strong partnerships across government, civil society, and international stakeholders.
Shettima said Nigeria has strengthened legal frameworks to respond to emerging security realities, citing President Tinubu's recent assent to the domestication of the African Union Kampala Convention. And now the federal government, in collaboration with European Union and development partners, has stepped up efforts to address Nigeria's widening skill gap with a focus on aligning workforce training with the needs of the private sector. Speaking at the National Skills and Industry Alignment Roundtable at Abuja, Vice President Kashim Shettima, represented by Ibrahim Adejia, said the initiative is focused on correcting the disconnection between skills development and labor market needs.
But what we have realized over time is that the jobs and the skills being demanded by the private sector, which should be the largest generator of employment, is not in alignment with the kind of skills being developed and the training being given. So simply to bridge the gap. We've had that discussion. This is the second in maybe 3 or 4 part series of conversation. So certainly from a policy perspective, the government realizes what needs to be done and is going to do that. And
at the same event, Strategic Partnership Lead at the Office of the Vice President Delivery Unit, Afolabi Mokwede, explains that the initiative is designed to align workforce training with private sector demand and create a clear value proposition that can attract increased investment into key programs.
Is to show what you call proof of concept and to show value. So once there's value, once there's proof of concept, then it's a goal that all the other partners will plug in with their funding. So they are already partners in progress because part of them are employment organizations, host organizations, but what then happens is that at least you want them to be able to put their money on the. But yeah, the critical thing as well is to galvanize a lot more private sector funding. Let's understand that the EU funding continues till 2027.
Head of Cooperation at the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Massimo De Luca, commended ongoing collaborations, including the Jubilee Fellowship Program and the 3 Million Technical Talent Initiative, while calling for stronger private sector participation.
We've been working with the Office of the Vice President already for a few years, and we are supporting them specifically for the delivery of impactful initiative in specific areas, and creation and skills is a top priority. In this sector, we have supported the Jubilee Fellowship Program, which I hope most people know by now, and other activities that we carry out with the Children Foundation, with the French Corporation, with a big number of other partners, the GIZ that were here, other partners that are equally committed.
Stakeholders agreed that better alignment between education, training and industry is key to closing Nigeria's skill gap and boosting job creation. Elsewhere, the Minister of Power said the recent apology issued by the minister reflects strong leadership, noting that many of the challenges facing the power sector are beyond his direct control. Chief Technical Advisor to the Power Minister, Adebayo Olowoniyi, explains that about 75% of Nigeria's electricity generation depends on gas, making the sector highly vulnerable to disruptions in gas supply.
Is all about taking leadership in the sector. So, of course, there's been some specific challenges in the last 2-3 weeks, and it was just important to take a leadership perspective and appreciate the fact that, the poor supply is actually impacting the lives of Nigerians. And that was why the Honorable Minister apologized. Not necessarily directly his fault for the challenges that we have, but as the Minister of Power, he just took ownership of this issue, and I'm going to prefer a solution that would ensure power supply comes back in the shortest available time.
According to him, one of the country's major gas pipelines has been undergoing maintenance, significantly affecting the volume of gas available to power plants and, in turn, electricity generation nationwide.
75% of power generation in Nigeria is gas, and one of the major gas pipelines in Nigeria was undergoing maintenance, and gradually that process is being completed. We're sure that within the next 2 weeks, full gas pressure will be back on the gas pipelines, and the power plant will be able to get enough gas at least to go back to their level of generation that they had in the last 2 to 3 months. So we're very confident about that. I would already say that from yesterday, we would have gradually started to see some improvement as the pressure on the pipeline gradually starts to build up, and we will see continuous improvement over the next couple of weeks.
The remarks come amid ongoing concerns over electricity supply in the country, with stakeholders closely watching efforts to stabilize the grid and improve generation capacity. In separate news, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening Nigeria's cooperative sector as a key driver of food security, employment and inclusive economic growth. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Abdullahi, said this at the 8th National Council of Cooperative Affairs in Abuja, highlighting cooperative as vital to renew the hope agenda and describing them as powerful people-driven economic engines. He added that cooperatives support major sectors such as agriculture, rural development, housing, microfinance, transportation market system, and the empowerment of youth. Abdullahi listed the challenges facing the sector to include weak governance, outdated legal frameworks, poor data, underfunding, limited digital adoption, fragmented operations, inadequate training, and a lack of inclusive development approach. From agriculture to legal matters, where fresh disputes may have emerged over the reported resolution of the long-running OPL 245 oil block case, with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar rejecting claims by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi that criticism of the deal are driven by self-interest. The former Vice President faulted remarks credited to Fagbemi, who had reportedly dismissed opposition voices on the matter as lacking patriotism. Atiku maintains that concerns raised about the OPL 245 settlement were rooted in verifiable records and ongoing legal processes, not political motivations. He described the AGF's assertion as misleading and an attempt to divert attention from substantive legal and factual issues surrounding what he termed the so-called resolution of the dispute. Fagbemi had faulted claims by Atiku that the dispute associated with the OPL 245 oil block remained unresolved. He also cited a recent Court of Appeal judgment in Nigeria Ajib Exploration Limited versus Malabu Oil and Gas Limited, which dismissed Malabu's challenge to the allocation of OPL 245 as statute bad and an abuse of court process. Similarly, Justice Peter Kekemeke of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Tanimu Turaki SN. Justice Kekemeke issued the warrant after Turaki failed to attend court for his arraignment over alleged provision of false information to the police, as charged by the Inspector General of Police. The prosecution counsel, Usman Rabiu, said the defendant was absent despite being served with the charge. The defense counsel, Abdulaziz Ibrahim SN, urged the court to give him 5 more days to file written addresses to convince the court that the defendant's presence was not required until the motion was determined. However, in his ruling, Justice Kekemeke held that despite being aware of the day's proceedings, having been served with the hearing notice and the charge, it was wrong for Turaki to fail to attend court without providing any reason. He therefore ordered that a bench warrant be issued on Turaki to compel him to attend court to answer the pending charge. Justice Peter Kekemeke then adjourned the case until April 22nd for Turaki's arraignment. To other matters, where the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has launched updated voter education manuals as part of efforts to tackle voter apathy and boost participation ahead of the 2027 general elections. In a statement on social media, the Commission said the initiative was carried out in collaboration with national and international partners, including the Kimpact Development Initiative. The newly unveiled materials include a revised National Voter Education Manual and a youth-focused civic and voter education manual designed to promote informed civic engagement, particularly among young Nigerians. And now to workers' welfare, where the ongoing bill at the National Assembly to repeal the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act, also known as HB 2695, has faced serious opposition from health workers who staged a protest in Abuja today. The protesters, under the urges of the joint health sector unions and the Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associates, are against the bill, claiming that if allowed, it would subject other medical professionals to the control of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria.
Solidarity
Nigeria's health sector is regulated by various professional bodies, but the protesters opposed the bill, arguing it to place all medical professionals under the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Back home, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has officially commissioned Irele Towers, a new commercial building at the Lagos Free Zone located at Kilometer 45 along the Lekki Expressway. The name Irele, meaning humility in Yoruba, reflects the organization's values and its respect for Lagos State's local culture and language. Designed as an EDGE-certified green building, Irele Towers incorporates sustainable features that enhance energy efficiency, water efficiency, indoor environmental quality, and material usage. In addition to its sustainability credentials, the building provides flexible workspace suited for remote employees, freelancers, GIG workers, and consultants. And now the Nigeria Railway Corporation has commenced a recertification process for the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line Operation License, following the earlier issuance of a 1-year provisional license for the system. As part of the process, a high-level NRC delegation visited the red lines in Oyigbo and Ikeja stations to assess operational standards and infrastructure. During the inspection, NRC officials said the recertification exercise is a routine regulatory requirement aimed at transitioning from a provisional to a substantive operational license. The process is designed to ensure that the red line continues to meet the stringent safety and operational standards required for sustainable rail service delivery. Upon successful completion of the recertification process and the introduction of additional rolling stock, the system is expected to significantly increase service frequency, thereby enhancing transit capacity for Lagos residents. Similarly, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority Lamata has reiterated that it is illegal for unauthorized vehicles to use bus rapid transit lanes, warning that violators will face strict enforcement measures. Head of Corporate Communication, Kolawole Ochelabi, stressed that only designated BRT buses and vehicles operating under Lamata regulated franchise are permitted to ply the lanes. Lamata expressed concern over what it described as a growing and blatant abuse of the BRT corridors by unauthorized users, including some military and paramilitary personnel. According to the agency, the trend undermines the efficiency, safety, and purpose of the BRT system. The authority maintains that all regulations guiding the use of BRT lanes remain in full force and will be strictly enforced. Outside Lagos, a magistrate court in Abeokuta has remanded a 37-year-old nurse, Kehinde Adesoya, in prison over alleged conspiracy, attempted abortion, and the murder of one Victoria Ariyo, a core member in Ogun State. Recall that 23-year-old Ariyo, who served under the Abeokuta South local government area of NYC, reportedly died from pregnancy complications. The nurse, who allegedly supplied drugs to the deceased in an attempt to terminate the pregnancy, was arraigned on a 4-count charge bordering on conspiracy, attempt to procure abortion, and murder. Police counsel Solomon Babalola prayed the court for an order to remand the defendant for 60 days at the Ibarra Correctional Center, pending advice from the State Director of Public Prosecution. Magistrate O.O. Sam Obaleye adjourned the case until May 26 for mention. Reports say the deceased was involved in a romantic relationship with the local government inspector, LGI of NYC, Abbas Olalikon, which eventually led to the pregnancy and the termination that resulted in her death. Olalikon, who was arraigned and arrested on Monday, pleaded not guilty and was granted a bail of 500,000 naira. You're listening to News Express on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. Still to come. On sports, IOC introduces genetic testing for women's event ahead of 2028 Olympics. On entertainment, Omale hints at return to Christianity sparks fan reactions.
You can listen to Adami Mogo 93.1 FM from any part of the world. Download the Adami Mogo 931 FM app from Google Play Store and Radio Garden, and follow us on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have eyewitness stories, clips exclusive to share, contact the Adami Mogo FM newsroom via mail at newsroom@adamimogofm.com, or you can dial 070-634-03583. You can dial 090-319-69629. Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos, voice of the light.
Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the rest of our stories. On a foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned Iran to engage in talks to end the Middle East war before it is too late, after Tehran publicly spurned U.S. overtures to resolve the nearly 4-week conflict. Trump's warning came as Israel said it had killed the commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Navy, calling him directly responsible for throttling the Strait of Hormuz since the war's outbreak. Hopes for a negotiated end to the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran rose after Washington was said to have put a peace plan to Tehran, only for the Islamic Republic to deny the sides were speaking. Iran's foreign minister flatly denied on Wednesday that negotiations had been engaged with Trump's administration, but did not concede messages were being exchanged through friendly countries. Now to sports, where the International Olympic Committee IOC has reintroduced genetic testing for gender to determine eligibility for any female category event beginning with the 2028 Los Angeles Games. IOC said in a statement that eligibility for any female category event at the Olympic Games or any other IOC event is now limited to biological females determined on the basis of a one-time SRI gene screening. The SRI screening will be done through a saliva test, cheek swab, or blood sample, and in the vast majority of cases will be a once-in-a-lifetime test. The IOC, under its new president, Christy Coventry, is bringing in the new policy after the women's boxing competition at the 2024 Paralympics was rocked by a gender role involving Algerian fighter Iman Khalif and Liu Yun-ting of Taiwan. Khalif and Lin were excluded from the International Boxing Association's 2023 World Championship after the IBA said they had failed eligibility tests. And now to entertainment. Nigeria singer Malay has sparked reactions after hinting through Snapchat that he may have returned to Christianity, noting that although he enjoyed reading the Quran, he resonates more with the Bible. His comments have drawn mixed responses from fans, many viewing it as part of his personal spiritual journey rather than a firm public declaration. In a separate development, veteran rapper Rugged Man has criticized the blanket use of the term Afrobeat to describe African music, insisting it is not a proper genre. He further argued that many artists rely heavily on auto-tune and avoid freestyle or live band performances, claiming only a few can truly perform without such support. And as we conclude News Express on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos, here's a recap of the biggest stories. We told you Vice President Kashim Shettima reaffirmed Nigeria's determination to promote and protect human rights while intensifying efforts to tackle insecurity across the country. We also told you that Justice Peter Akikemeke of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has issued a bench warrant for the arrest of the factional national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Tani Muturaki SAN. Finally, in the news, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu officially commissioned Irele a new commercial building at the Lagos Free Zone located at kilometer 45 along Lekki Expressway. And that's News Express. On behalf of the production team, I'm Ayo Adekaya saying thank you for listening. Good evening.
Leave me alone! I said no!
Shh, don't make noise. Now leave me and you there here.
Please! No means no. This is rape. And you will go to jail for this.
Oh, Baraduro, sharp, before you know I don't finish.
Please!
Hello, police. Hello, can you hear me? I think there's a rape situation going on in my area. House 19. Like, come quickly, oh.
This is the police! Open up!
Yeah. I feel like. Young man, you are under arrest for attempted rape. Under the law, rape is a serious crime. You have no right to say anything, or whatever you say shall be used against you in the court of law. Take him with you. Yeah.
Rape destroys lives and can send you to prison for years. No excuse. Not alcohol, not clothing, not silence. Consent is the only yes. Respect boundaries and respect the law.
Stop rape. Respect is the way, or face the consequences.
Orúkọ mi ni Evangelist Professor Ebenezer Obey Fabiyi. Ẹ máa gbọ́ Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lekki.
Àsìkò ìròyìn ti tó, bóyá ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ̀bọ̀, lónílé lálejò bóyá, lọ́mọdé lágbà ó, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ owó, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ ọmọ. Ìròyìn tó jẹ́ ojúlówó rédíò yìí lẹ ti máa gbọ́, 93.1 FM ìkànnì tó tayọ, Lẹ́kì la máa fi kalẹ̀ sí nígboro Èkó, Adami Mogo FM bóyá.
Ìròyìn tó gbà mú ṣe tí mo jẹ́ jábá kan ó tó.
ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́ àsìkò ìgbìyànjú látòórọ̀ Elédùmarè yóò kún wa lédè gọbọ nínú iṣẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ wa. èyí náà ni àkótán ìròyìn eléyìí tó ń dé sí etí gbọ̀yìn láti ìkànnì Àdámimógo 93.1 FM ibi tá a ti ń fọ ìmọ́lẹ̀ sí ti ọmọ aráyé. wọ́n yìí ni àwọn kókó tó súyọ nínú ìròyìn náà. orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà náà ló ti jẹ́jẹ́ lórí àti ṣe àmúlò òfin ọmọnìyàn láwùjọ àgbáyé tó ń ti ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ ètò ààbò lórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà. alága igun kan nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ti People's Democratic Party PDP iná ló ń kojú lẹ́tà àti gba àmúṣekun látàrí pé ó kọ̀ jálẹ̀ láti yọjú síwájú ilé ẹjọ́. gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babájídé Sanwó-Olú náà ló ti ṣí ilé gogoro àwòṣífìlà tí wọ́n pè ní ilé gogoro ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ ní etí Èkó níbi tí wọ́n ti yà á sọ́tọ̀ fún ọ̀rọ̀ káràkátà. ẹ ṣeun tẹ́ ń gbọ́ ìkànnì Àdámimógo 93.1 FM eléyìí tó fi kalẹ̀ sí Lekki phase 1 ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ ìròyìn ọ̀rẹ́ Túndé Ọ̀làwùyí lóníròyìn. igbákejì ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà Kasim Shettima òun náà ló ti fọwọ́ ìdánilójú ẹ̀ sọ̀yà lórí ìgbélárugẹ tó ti dídáàbòbò ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń ṣe àtẹnumọ́ akitiyan ìjọba láti kojú àìláàbò lórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà nígbà tó ń fi ọ̀rọ̀ ńlédè nílùú Àbújá níbi àpérò àwọn ikọ̀ lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan tọdún 2026 lẹ́yìn tí ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ òfin tó di ọmọnìyàn láwùjọ àgbáyé. Shettima náà ló ti ń sọ di mọ̀ pé ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu òun náà ni kò tẹ̀tì nínú akitiyan rẹ̀ lórí àti tẹ̀lé òfin eléyìí tí ó dáàbò bo ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tó ti ṣíṣe àmúlò òfin àgbáyé lórí àti yanjú aáwọ̀ lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan tó ti ìtọ́jú ọmọnìyàn nísàn-án. inú ọ̀rọ̀ náà ló ti sọ di mọ̀ pé ìjọba orílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà òun náà ló ti ṣe àmúlò ọgbọ́n àtinúdá lórí àti lè kojúoro sí àìláàbò nílẹ̀ yìí pẹ̀lú ṣíṣe àmúlò àwọn ohun ẹ̀rọ lóríṣiríṣi tó ń ti ohun ìjà tó ń ti ọgbọ́n àtinúdá míì lẹ́yìn tó pé eléyìí náà ló ń ṣe àdínàgbòkò fún àlàáfíà tó ń ti ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ yìí. Shettima òun náà ni ó ṣàìsọ di mímọ̀ pé ara àwọn àlàkalẹ̀ tó ń ti akitiyan ìṣàkóso tí ń bẹ lóde lásìkò yìí òun náà ni láti ṣe àmúlò ìlànà òfin lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan eléyìí tí ó lè kojú ọ̀rọ̀ sí àìláàbò nílẹ̀ yìí lákòókò yìí níbi ó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀. ara ẹ̀ náà ni ìgbésẹ̀ eléyìí tí ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu gbé lórí àti tẹ̀lé àlàkalẹ̀ àpérò àwọn ikọ̀ Kampala lẹ́kùn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ fún ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ ètò ààbò tó ń ti ìtọ́jú ọmọnìyàn. wọ́n ti sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ pé onídàájọ́ Peter Kekemeke náà ló ti sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ nílé ẹjọ́ gíga ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ ilé tó fìdí kalẹ̀ sílùú Àbújá pé ó ti náwó gan ẹni tí í ṣe alága igun kan nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ti People's Democratic Party pẹ̀lú kíkọ ìwé ránṣẹ́ sí i lórí àti náwó mu pẹ̀lú ìgbésẹ̀ kò tọ́ eléyìí tó gbé lásìkò tá a wà yìí. alága ọ̀hún tí a mọ̀ sí Taminu Turaki òun náà ni wọ́n sọ ọ́ di mọ̀ pé ó kọ̀ jálẹ̀ láti yọjú síwájú ilé ẹjọ́ lórí ẹ̀sùn eléyìí tí wọ́n fi kàn án pẹ̀lú pé ó pe òjò láìná fún ikọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà. ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún léyìí tí ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà pé òun náà ni wọ́n fi ń sọ di mímọ̀ pé ó tako àwọn abala òfin lórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà. olùpẹ̀jọ́ iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Usman Rabiu òun náà ló ti sọ di mímọ̀ pé bíi arákùnrin ọ̀hún ò sí sí nílé ẹjọ́ pẹ̀lú bí wọ́n ti kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ sí i òun náà ló tàpá sí òfin ilé ẹjọ́. wàyí o agbẹjọ́rò olùjẹ́jọ́ Abdulaziz Ibrahim eléyìí tó jẹ́ amòfin hánà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà òun náà ló ti wá rọ ilé ẹjọ́ láti fún ní ọjọ́ 5 péré sí lórí àti lè kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ sí ilé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún lórí àti máa tẹ̀wájú láìsí olùjẹ́jọ́ nílé nínú ìdájọ́ rẹ̀ onídàájọ́ kẹ̀kẹ́mẹ́kẹ́ náà ni ó ti wá sọ di mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú bí wọ́n ti kọ lẹ́tà ránṣẹ́ sí tí ò sì yọjú sí iwájú ilé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún òun náà ló jẹ́ tó tàpá sí òfin orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà láìsí àwọn àlàyé tó ti àwáwí kankan lórí bí ó ti yọjú sí iwájú ilé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún. ẹ̀wẹ̀ wọ́n ti wá sọ di mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ sí Túràkì lórí àti nàwọ́ gan láti ilé ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún láti wá jẹ́jọ́ rẹ̀. wàyí onídàájọ́ Peter Kẹ̀kẹ́mẹ́kẹ́ náà ló ti wá sún ẹjọ́ di ọjọ́ 22 oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2026 tàwa nínú yìí láti tẹ̀wájú lórí ìdájọ́ náà. àjọ ilé ìtọ́ríṣe ọ̀rọ̀ òpópónà ojú irin nílẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà yún ọkọ̀ rélùwé náà ló ti tún fún àjọ ilé ìtọ́ríṣe ọ̀rọ̀ rélùwé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó níwèé àṣẹ míì ṣe lórí àti máa tẹ̀wájú lórí ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ ọ̀hún ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lẹ́yìn ọdún kan eléyìí tí wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ fún wọn ní àwọn ìwé àṣẹ kan lára ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún lẹ́yìn tí ó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n ti sọ ọ́ di mọ̀ pé nígbà tí wọ́n yọjú bọ́ńbọ́ sí ibùdó ọ̀hún ní Òyìngbò tó ń ti Ìkẹjà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti wo bí ọwọ́ ṣẹ́ ṣe ń yá sí òun náà ni ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀tún wáyé lákòókò ilé ìtawà yìí tí wọ́n sì sọ ọ́ di mọ̀ pé wọ́n tún gbọ́dọ̀ fún wọn ní ìwé ẹ̀rí mọ̀dáńgájíà míì sí lórí àti tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà àtẹ̀lé tó ń ti ìlànà sọ̀dọ̀tun ní iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún kàkà tí wọ́n kọ̀ọ̀kan fi wọ́n lẹ̀ láì tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà eléyìí tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹnu iṣẹ́. ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀hún òun náà ni láti rí dájú pé wọ́n tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà ètò ààbò lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan tó ń ti ìtọ́ni tó ń ti ìlànà tá a gbà ṣiṣẹ́ ní àjọ ọ̀hún. ẹ̀wẹ̀ wọ́n ti sọ di mọ̀ pé ibùdó ojú irin ọ̀hún eléyìí tí ń lo ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀tún eléyìí tí wọ́n yà sọ́tọ̀ òun náà ni ìmọ̀ràn ní ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹsàn-án ní ojúmọ́ ní bí wọ́n ti ṣe lálàyé síta ní kété tí wọ́n ti parí àti fún wọn ní ìwé ẹ̀rí tuntun ọ̀hún tó ti ṣíṣe àgbéjáde ìlànà ọ̀tún òun náà ni wọ́n retí àti tún gbé ìgbésẹ̀ ọ̀tún eléyìí tí ó jẹ́ kí owó ọṣẹ́ máa yá sí ní àjọ ọ̀hún lásìkò yìí pàápàá jùlọ fún ìrọ̀rùn àwọn ará ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. àkótán ìròyìn náà lẹ́ ń gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ níkànnì àdámímógò 93.1 FM ní Lekki phase 1 ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó wọ́n yìí ní ìyókù ìròyìn náà. wọ́n ti sọ ọ́ di mọ̀ pé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babájídé Sanwó-Olú ló ti ṣí ilé gogoro àwòṣe ìfìlà kan eléyìí tí wọ́n pè ní gbọ̀ngàn ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ níbi tí káràkátà ó ti mọ̀ wáyé lẹ́yìn tó wà ní etí Èkó ní ibùsọ̀ karùndínláàádọ́ta lópòpónà márosẹ̀ Lekki sí Ẹ̀pẹ́. ilé gogoro àwòṣífìlà ọ̀hún tó ń jẹ́ gbọ̀ngàn ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ ló ń ṣàfihàn bí iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún ó ṣe máa káràmásìkì àṣeyọrí àwọn ènìyàn láwùjọ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tó ń ti ìgbélárugẹ àṣà àti èdè. ilé ọ̀hún ò ṣàì ní ìpèsè iná ọba tó dúró déédéé tó ń ti omi tó dára fún lílò tó ń ti àwọn nǹkan tí yóò mú kí káràkátà òru gọ́gọ́ sí ní ibùdó náà. ibùdó ọ̀hún ò ṣàì fààyè gba ìrọ̀rùn fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó ń ti àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ tí wọ́n bá nílò ọ́fíìsì aláyàlò fún ìgbà díẹ̀. gbọ̀ngàn ló ń ṣàfihàn àṣeyọrí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lórí akitiyan rẹ̀ láti ní àwọn ibùdó ìgbàlódé fún káràkátà tí ó sì rọ àwọn oníṣòwò lọ́rùn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. wàyí wọn ti sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ pé àjọ eléyìí tí ń rí sí ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ láwọn agbègbè eléyìí tí ó làjú ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tó sì tún gbajúgbajà òun náà ni wọ́n ti sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ pé ó jẹ́ tí ò bófin mu fún àwọn ọkọ̀ eléyìí tí wọn ò yà sọ́tọ̀ láti máa gba àwọn ojú òpó BRT láti máa gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kò tọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ eléyìí tí wọ́n fi léde lónìí òde náà ni wọ́n ti pé èyíkéyìí kọlọ̀rọ̀ sí tó bá hùwà kò tọ́ ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n mọ̀ díyà jẹ. Olùdarí lẹ́ka ìbáràlú sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń ti ọ̀rọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀hún Kọ́láwọlé Ọ̀jẹ́lábí òun náà ló sọ eléyìí mímọ̀ pé àwọn ọkọ̀ BRT tó ń ti àwọn ọkọ̀ míì eléyìí tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́ ikọ̀ àjọ ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n ti fún láàyè láti máa gba ojú ọ̀nà náà. Àjọ ọ̀hún òun náà ló ti wá ṣe àpèjúwe bí àwọn kan ṣe ya kọlọ̀rọ̀ sí tí wọ́n sì ń gba ojú òpópónà tó ń ti àwọn ọkọ̀ ikọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ọmọ ogun tó ń ti afarajológun nílẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà tó fi mọ́ àwọn ọkọ̀ aládàáni míì. Nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n ti wá sọ di mọ̀ pé eléyìí ń ṣe àdínàgbòkú fún alákálẹ̀ ètò ààbò àti láti fa àyè gba ọkọ̀ BRT lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ti yà sọ́tọ̀ gan láti máa gba ojú ọ̀nà ọ̀hún fún ìyá kánkán tó ń ti ìrọ̀rùn àwọn ará ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ àjọ náà ló ti wá sọ di mọ̀ pé gbogbo àlàkalẹ̀ òfin náà ló ti wà fún ọkọ̀ BRT láti máa gba ojú ọ̀nà ọ̀hún tó ń ti ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ ètò ààbò fún àwọn ará ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n bá ń wọ ọkọ̀ náà. wàyó ilé-ẹjọ́ májísírèètì kan lè tó fìdí kalẹ̀ sílùú Abẹ́òkúta òun náà ló ti pé kí olùtọ́jú aláìsàn nọ́ọ̀sì ẹni ọdún 37 Kẹ́hìndé Adésànyà máa lọ sí àtìmọ́lé lásìkò tá a wà látàrí pé ó lẹ̀dí àpòpọ̀ tó sì gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti yọ oyún tó ti dídẹ̀mí arábìnrin kan léyìí tí wọ́n pè ní Victoria Àríyọ̀ Légbodò eléyìí tí ó jẹ́ ikọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ àgùnbánirọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. ẹ rántí pé olóògbé ọ̀hún Àríyọ̀ ẹni ọdún 23 léyìí tí ń sìnrú ìlú lábẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ti gúúsù ti ìlú Abẹ́òkúta ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ní ẹ̀ka ìsìnrú ìlú. òun náà ni ìròyìn fi léde pé ẹ̀mí jábọ́ lẹ́nu rẹ̀ láìpẹ́ yìí látàrí oyún eléyìí tí ó yọ kúrò lára rẹ̀. olùtọ́jú aláìsàn ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n pé òun ló ń ṣe àgbéjáde oògùn lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan fún olóògbé ọ̀hún látàrí ìgbésẹ̀ àti yọ oyún rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n sì fi ẹ̀sùn aláwọ̀ mẹ́rin kàn lẹ́yìn tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú lílẹ̀ dí àpòpọ̀ àti ìgbésẹ̀ àti ṣẹ́yìn fún arábìnrin náà tó ti bó ṣe dẹ́mi rẹ̀ légbodò. ẹ̀wẹ̀ agbẹnusọ fún iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá Solomon Babalọ́lá òun náà ló ti wá pàṣẹ fún ilé-ẹjọ́ ọ̀hún láti fi arábìnrin ọ̀hún sí àhámọ́ fún 60 ọjọ́ ní ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n ìkọ́ni tó ń ti títún ẹ̀dárò ilé tó wà ní Ìbàrà nílùú Àbẹ́òkúta kó tó di pé àwọn ikọ̀ tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn eléyìí tí wọ́n máa gbọ́ ẹjọ́ ará ìlú ó gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tó tọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún. onídàájọ́ Oho Sam Ọbalẹ̀yẹ náà ló ti wá sún ẹjọ́ di ọjọ́ 27 oṣù karùn-ún ọdún 2026 tá a wà nínú èyí. ẹ̀wẹ̀ ìròyìn fi léde wípé olóògbé ọ̀hún òun náà ni wọ́n ní ó ń dọ̀rẹ́ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹnìkan tí ó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ọ̀hún tó sì ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ìkọ̀dọ́ àgùnbánirọ̀ ilé ìtorúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Abbas Ọlálékan lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n pé nínú ìdọ́rẹ̀pọ̀ yìí náà ló fi mú kí arábìnrin ọ̀hún lóyún tí wọ́n sì ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti yọ oyún ọ̀hún kó tó di pé ó jáde láyé. Ọlálékan náà ni wọ́n gbá mú síkún tí wọ́n sì fi ojú rẹ̀ bá ilé ẹjọ́ ní ọjọ́ ajé tó kọjá lọ yìí àmọ́ tó pé òun ò jẹ̀bi ẹ̀sùn ọ̀hún tí wọ́n sì gbọ́ onídùúró rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà yíyan 500,000 naira. tó àkótọ̀rọ̀ ìfún ti rọ̀lẹ́ ètò ní òde yìí náà ni ó máa rókè sí àyìn àmọ́ kí n tó máa lọ ẹ̀gbọ́ kókó inú ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. àṣà mú wá fún pé ìjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà náà ló ti jẹ́jẹ́ lórí àti ṣe àmúlò òfin àgbáyé lórí ìgbáyégbádùn ọmọnìyàn tó ti ìfẹsẹ̀múlẹ̀ ètò ààbò nílẹ̀ yìí. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la mú wá fún pé alága igun kan nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ti People's Democratic Party lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà Tanimu Turaki náà ni wọ́n ti ń dúnkokò láti gbámúsẹ́kù látàrí pé ó kùnà láti yọjú sí iwájú ilé ẹjọ́ láti wá jẹ́jẹ́ ẹ̀sùn eléyìí tí wọ́n fi kàn án. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la mú wá fún yín pé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babájídé Sanwó-Olú náà ló ti ṣí ilé gogoro ńlá àwòṣífìlà kan eléyìí tí wọ́n pè ní gbọ̀ngàn ìrẹ̀lẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó fún káràkátà. àkótán ìròyìn fún ti ìrọ̀lẹ́ tòní òde yìí náà ni kò ní jù báyìí lọ ilé ìtẹ́ ti gbọ́ níkànnì Àdámímógò 93.1 FM ibi tá a ti ń fọ ìmọ́lẹ̀ sí ti ọmọ aráyé. Ayọ̀ Adékẹ́yẹ náà ni olóòtú ìròyìn ọ̀hún. Túndé Ọ̀làwìlú kà sí etí gbọ̀yìn ẹ ṣe ń ṣeun tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa ire lọ́ọ̀dẹ̀ kó wa wà.